Alright guys, welcome to your 16th video, and now that we got the basic styling done, what we can do is we can style these individual buttons, and this is actually incredibly easy. So what we want to do now is, let me give you some, make sure you guys can see this. Alright, footer, menu, LI, hover, and I probably could have just copied that, and I will. So basically, whenever you're hover overing a button, which means that the drop up appears, what you want to do now is we want to work on the styling of those individual list items. So basically, whenever you hover over it, these individual sections, calculator, group chat, image editor, that's where we're going to be styling. Those are the list items inside the buttons. Pretty cool, huh? So the first thing we want to do is do some basic, make sure they don't look weird. So float, none, make sure they don't drift off to the right or anything. Background is none. And this is just because we don't want it to inherit the properties of these list items, which are buttons. Remember, all of these are floating to the left. So in case it inherits that, we don't want that to happen. Now, for the border, as you notice, each of these items right here, there's a little black line separating calculator from group chat, so on and so forth. And to make that little black line, we're gonna steal the same effect that we use for this. The first thing we want to do is we want to set, not broader, border, okay, move my freaking cursor, border equal to none. So now they have no border at all. However, we do want that black line, so we actually only want a border on the bottom. So for the border bottom, we can just have, 1 pixel solid, and we might as well just use this. You can either make it black or, whatever color you want. So 1 pixel solid, dark gray or black pretty much. Now, if I just ran this program like this, what would happen is these would be very bunched together, and it would pretty much look like, text like this. You see how this text on this line and this line are very close to each other. However, on this, you have a little padding above and below it. And also to the left of it, you want that because you don't want your text butted up right up against the left-hand side. So for this, we just add some padding. And the padding for this is 12 pixels, 10 pixels, 12 pixels, 10 pixels. And I don't want to do the shorthand of this because if you guys want to adjust, maybe you want them to be bunched together or spread apart more to look like individual items, then go ahead and adjust your padding accordingly. But this is how I have mine set up. I think it looks pretty good. So that is all you need to style the drop-up menu for this program. So this programs button is now perfectly styled. Like I said, it's basically, remember this programs button is a list item. It's basically an entire list within a drop-up menu. That's all we're going to do in the HTML. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to style, what we're going to be working on is we're going to be working on styling these things right here. The drop up for the account, profile, and the 2-column layout. Now again, like I said, it's a little bit different than this because what I did is I'm going to show you guys how to make a 1-column layout, which you can see right here on account, 2-column layout, so if you want to have 2 columns like one right here and one right here, or a 3-column layout where you have 1, 2, 3. Now anything you need more than a 3-column layout, you might as well go ahead and make a freaking web page because this right here, it's a navigation menu above everything. You don't want to put a ton of content in your navigation menu. If so, you might as well just stick it in a freaking web page. So 3 columns max. You are not allowed to make anything more than 3-column. So what we want to do before we start styling all the drop-ups and making them appear like this is we just want to add some overall basic styling. Now the very first thing we want to do is style the links. Now the link color, we want them to be, as you can see, we want them to be kind of a dark gray. So the reason that we want to do this is because whenever they're gray and we hover over them, we can turn them to white and it'll look like the links are glowing. So as you can see, make the default links gray, and then when you hover over them, it'll look like it's glowing and it gives you a really cool interactive effect. So let's go ahead and add a comment first. Drop up default links. So that's where we're going to be styling right now. And this is actually really easy.